You can drink an AMF and then go play whack-a-mole at the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Hey everybody, welcome once again to Dire Pass Level, the Doppelcast, if you will. We are here once again at the beautiful arcade. As you can see, beautiful video games all around us. Yes, that's right, to your left, to your right. Guess what? We're actually working on a food court. We're gonna open up at the arcade. As a special guest, we've got someone very special we're gonna introduce you to very shortly. But in the meantime, let's say hello to Brandon. Bran, how are you feeling today?
Feeling choppy, chop, like one of the cleavers in Cookie Mama. That's how I'm feeling.
Love to hear it. Brandon, before we go into our usual offerings, I'm curious, there's anything new you're playing at the moment?
Not new, but I re-picked up Pokemon Snap for the Switch just to get some levels in, just to tie me over until Hades 2. We got 3 days until Hades 2 starts, and counter's gotta be clear. My mind's gotta be empty. I gotta have my soul willing and waiting.
He's a goner, folks. He's a goner once Hades 2 comes out.
I'm gone, baby.
Brandon, I want to mention really quickly that you've been pretty busy lately. Quickly mention the book you're working on.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a video game. Hey, this is a podcast about video game. Yeah, Minecraft. There's about 1,000 Minecraft books out there, and I am one of the latest editions. Minecraft, One Last Quest comes out October 21st. It's a fun little story about a group of kids who are transitioning from 5th grade into middle school, and they're like a clan of kids that play together. A griefer has come into their server and blown up their entire kingdom that they've spent their entire friendship building. It's almost like a Batman versus Riddler kind of story where he sends them on these puzzles in the real world and then into the Minecraft world, and they gotta figure out who the griefer is and stop him or her before it's too late. Yeah.
Minecraft Whodunit. You love to see it. It sounds great. So just jumping quickly into what I'm playing because I'm loving it. Hollow Knight Silksong is the game I love to hate and I hate to love. It is the hardest, most punishing video game I've played probably since the original Hollow Knight. The runs are insane, the boss fights, and then if you die, you have to run back to where the fight is, and sometimes just on the way back to that boss fight, you die or get killed by something because you're so frustrated in such a hurry to get back at this enemy that you just like lose focus and hit a bed of spikes. It's probably very similar to Dark Souls in that way.
It's exactly like Dark Souls, right? You die, you gotta get back. But if you're not careful, it's gonna punish you, and you're gonna lose everything. Yeah, I get it.
I'll keep you all updated on my Hollow Knight Silksong adventures, but I think it's time for us to introduce our very special guest. We are going to enter our Retro Now News section shortly, but I want our good friend Obi Eats into the fold. Say hi, Obi. How you doing?
Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Obi Eats. I'm here. Let's do it.
Let's go. So you guys probably know Obi, and if you don't, please follow Obi Eats. Obi Eats is always killing it on social media, posting reviews and like going to all these awesome restaurants. Talk a little bit about what you do, Obi.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just a big guy who eats, and I decided let's go put it on social media. That's kind of the idea. I've been doing this for about 5 years, kind of started during the pandemic. It was just a way to, connect with folks. What I do is I go out to amazing places, a lot of family-owned small businesses that I feel like, need some extra oomph, in their business. Because everybody's struggling. I love to just use my platform, go out and just try out amazing food, showcase it, go behind the scenes, and give you guys a little insight before you make that informed decision. That's what I do. I'm just a food blogger out in Southern California, and I just love to eat. That's all it is.
Shout out to Obi Eats, giving a platform to all these awesome restaurants, showing lots of love. I actually met Obi Eats while he was shooting one of his videos. I was getting ice for my kids who wanted to do a lemonade stand at 7-Eleven. So I noticed your shirt and I was like, hey, what do you do? What's the deal? When you were doing one of your Smash or Pass.
Smash or Pass, yeah. It's just like a little fun series I'm doing on YouTube, and it's just kind of going to like places that you wouldn't even think a food blogger would even go, like 7-Eleven, the Skechers food court down in Gardena, stuff like places like that. Why would you even do a food video there? Like, I don't think they even need a review, but it's just fun to do something different. I've always done the small business route because that's where my heart has always been. But creatively, I just gotta get out there and just kind of try new things. So I was doing a Smash or Pass episode because I've been to Japan about twice now, and 7-Eleven over there is top tier. It's what everybody talks about whenever they travel there. So I want to make a comparison, like, is America 7-Eleven even worth it? You'll see that video soon. But yeah, it was just kind of a fun video too. Like, let me go get an egg sando compared to the Japanese egg sando over there, So I love these kind of random meetups where you just meet other creators, like at a 7-Eleven parking lot of all places.
Yeah, man, it was awesome to have met you, and look at where we are now. I'm so glad to have you here,
podcast. Let's do it.
You had do a little Smash Brothers reference.
Yeah,
as the little
yeah, yeah.
logo when you do the smash or pass. I was like,
Yeah, pretty
hey.
much like, and that's kind of like indicative with what I do is like growing up, video games were always a part of my life. And so it was just like a fun way to kind of add some flair to the video because I feel like a lot of food content creators don't really incorporate that much of a pop culture really references in their videos. They kind of stick with like a blogger kind of like, let me go to this city in Shanghai and show you this cool place where they're doing hand pulled noodles, like, and they just kind of keep it like you're watching a National Geographic video, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And which is all cool, you know what I'm saying? But I love pop culture, I grew up watching movies, playing video games online, collecting cards, you know what I'm saying? This is stuff I grew up on doing. Like you literally see in my background, all the anime, there's cards in the background, art like Kendrick Lamar and like, Young Bae in the background, like that's the stuff I grew up on. And so like it would be weird if I didn't incorporate that in my food videos when I'm doing longer form. Smash was always like in my head, like, because I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna smash this burger. That's kind of where it came from. And like my editor, shout out to Joe. He's also a huge gamer himself. So like I gave him like all the freedom in the world to like do those type of edits. I want him to shine as well and like show his editing skills in there too, because we're working together on this one. Putting the Smash logo in there, it was like a match made in heaven.
Shout out to Joe. I met him at
Yeah.
7-Eleven too. And I remember when I told him I was a video game podcaster and kind of gave him the spiel. Like, you were excited, Obi, but I looked over in the corner. I saw Joe's eyes light up.
Yeah, no, he's much more of a gamer than I am. Like, I'm just stuck editing videos, going out to places. So my time with video games has definitely diminished over time. When you're a full-time content creator, it's kind of hard to pick up other hobbies and stuff like that. The only other time I have is card collecting, because that doesn't require that much, focus on it. For Joe, like, on his off time, he's always playing Tarkov. He's playing CSGO with his friends online and stuff like that. If he's not editing my videos, he's definitely playing games. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what's going on right there.
It's all right, Joe. Well, if you're listening, come on down to the Doppel Arcade, baby.
I like that. I like that a smash has become just like its own like new verb. I don't even think about the original origin of the word. I'm like, oh,
I don't even know what the
What are you
original
talking about?
word
Yeah.
means.
You're talking about Smash Bros, right?
I have a friend who's a teacher, and she tells me a lot of the kids in her class use gaming terms to describe what's happening in real life. Like someone would say like, oh, he's using his ult right now. Ult is like your most powerful move when you're playing League of Legends or Valorant or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So kids would say like, oh, he's using his ult, like he's using his strongest power. People would say like in IRL, stuff like that. Like terms we would grow up saying on like TeamSpeak or playing with friends and stuff like that. Now kids are saying it in person. What a cultural shift that's been.
I'm a music teacher, so I can
Oh,
confirm. I can
There
confirm.
you go, yeah.
They call their group of friends chat. I'm like, dude, what's going on?
Yeah. Kids coming out of school and whatever. And then I was like, yo, chat, you want to go to McDonald's? I'm like, what?
I'm going to move us into our Retro Now News segment, everybody. We got Obi here, so I think this is very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Here at Retro Now News, we talk about modern things that are happening in the gaming sphere that are obviously retro inspired, right? I think it's very apropos to talk about Chuck E. Cheese, the iconic name behind America's favorite arcade and family entertainment centers, is stepping into a new era with the launch of Chuck's Arcade. This bold new arcade concept from Chuck E. Cheese combines classic games and the hottest new games alongside iconic animatronic characters. Chuck's Arcade is a modern-day love letter to the games and people who made Chuck E. Cheese great. 1, have you gone to any of Chuck's arcades? I know there are a few now open. And 2, what are some of your Chuck E. Cheese stories, if you have any?
They're trying to pick Dave and Buster's pocket. Is that the idea?
Basically, it's Chuck E.
Okay.
Cheese, Dave and
Okay.
Buster's.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen pictures. It definitely reminds me of Round 1. It's got that kind of energy. They got the corner with claw machines. The lighting is very similar. Definitely a place I want to check out. I think there's one in Anaheim.
There's definitely one in Brea. That's where the one I heard pop up. And like, yeah, honestly, it's a smart move. I'm surprised it took them this long to transition because they were kind of the OG arcade spot, next to Shakey's. You guys remember Shakey's, where you would go,
Do we ever, Obi?
to go get your, redeem your free pizza from school, and then you will go play the arcades in the back and try to get a little ring pop, at the end. I feel like it was a time coming because Round 1 and Dave & Buster's, like, I feel like that was the date spot in college or like when you were younger and stuff like that, right? And it still is because it's still like a fun place. Games you play, like, a lot of claw machines, a lot of arcade games, you win tickets, you get that nice big bear. Chuck E. Cheese, I feel like during the pandemic, they probably took a blow. Chuck E. Cheese itself diminished in locations. I remember there was one in K-Town. Now it's gone. But I feel like Round 1, Dave & Buster's, that place works because you can serve beer. You can drink an AMF and then go play whack-a-mole at the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like that's always been a place where you can take a significant other or even your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like or kids too. It's about damn time.
You could drink an AMF
Yeah.
and play whack-a-mole. That's the pitch. What about your childhood experience with maybe not Chuck E. Cheese? You mentioned Shakey's. Is there a standout pizzeria, a place you love to go to? What games were you playing when you went?
Well, I was more of a Shakey's guy because that was a bit closer to where I live. You know, for me, it was always like, you know, getting my mojos and then going in the back to play a bootleg copy of Contra.
Talk that talk, Obi. Talk that
You know what
talk.
I'm saying? That was kind of like the vibe. It was always like that. And then I would redeem my very few tickets for a ring pop and then go home happy, you know? Arcades were very different from playing like your N64 or GameCube at your buddy's place. There's a big overhead display. It was very interactive. And I think that was a very cool way to kind of get a different gaming experience, you know, growing up.
Shakey's, definitely a mainstay in my household too. The only place where you could get ketchup accidentally on your pizza and it's okay.
Yeah. It's just extra sauce, you know what I'm saying?
That became a tradition. I'm not from Los Angeles, but you know, obviously I lived there for 20 years. And Ray was like, "You never been to Shakey's, man? We gotta go to Shakey's." So that became like a tradition that we used to do in our last day of school with our kids. We'd go play some games and get some pizza. Those potatoes, baby.
Mojo, chicken, pizza, the
That's all
Trinity,
you need.
man. It's
That's
beautiful.
all you need.
It's literally all you need in life. Do you guys remember the show at Chuck E. Cheese with like the characters?
I think the animatronics were kind of phased out by the
On their
time
way
I
out.
went to a Chuck E. Cheese. They were kind of just pushing the mascot around, I think, during my time. I remember seeing videos on YouTube of the animatronics. I'm a little younger, so like my first thought was like, damn, that's like Five Nights at Freddy right there. But you know,
Literally,
in
yeah, that's the
IRL, you know, that's kind
inspiration.
of what I'm looking at right now.
I'm looking at our notes, Obi. I'm seeing that N64 was pretty prominent in your upbringing. Give us some of your N64 memories.
I think the first game I ever played on the N64 was Super Mario, my first game. Right after that, I think Pokemon Stadium was like my go-to game. Like it was the game that changed my life for sure. That's kind of what got me into Pokemon in the first place, actually. I went to my buddy's house that was like maybe a couple blocks away. He had an N64, which was the Pikachu edition, if you remember that.
Nice. Yeah, I do.
That was cool. I've wanted that thing for the longest time, and I think with my big boy money, I might pull that trigger on eBay. You know what I'm saying? So
Let's go,
yeah,
let's
just have it on my
go.
collection. You know, that Pikachu N64 like was like ingrained in my head. I'd never seen that in my entire life. I think I would see like Toys R Us ads with the different color shells of N64s, and I'm like, oh, that green one looks cool, or like that purple one looks cool, because I had that kind of like transparent look, and I always
Yeah.
thought that was a cool design for tech. You know, that Pikachu N64, that was right there, and I think like my love for Pokemon started with Pokemon Stadium and like the N64 right there. My first console that I ever owned, Game Boy Advance SP. That
Nice.
was, like,
It's a
my
good
first
one.
time I was able to, the little pocket one where you could just put it in your pocket, but then your teacher would confiscate it. You know what I'm saying? Like after trying to play it in class. Ever since then, I've just been a Pokemon fanatic. I've been playing the main series games to this day. I just pre-ordered my Legends EA not too long ago.
Are you planning to play it on the Switch 1 or Switch 2?
I'm probably gonna get the Switch too. You know, I'm a sucker for new consoles.
You're looking at
You're
the
talking-
number
you're-
one
you're-
Nintendo
you're in good
sucker over
company
here,
here.
man.
Yeah, you're in good
Oh yeah,
company.
no, I've been a Nintendo fanboy. Like I had a 360 because you know everybody was playing Modern Warfare 2 when I was growing up. But something about the Nintendo, it felt like home. You know, and I think we always made that connection with like our childhood and you know the games we played. Even though like eventually we grew up playing computer games, League of Legends, Warhammer, and stuff like that. Just something about the Nintendo games that's just been so comforting.
You're not wrong, Obi. I'm right there with you, man. I jump on every Nintendo console, every AAA Nintendo title.
Every little gimmick they
Yeah.
have, Ray's like, "This is the best thing ever. You checked it out."
Like,
What's
oh,
this
look, bigger
cardboard
screen.
fishing thing, dude?
Yeah, I know. To be fair, I don't go for the upgrades most times if it's the same console. But I'm
Right.
there first in line for the first iteration of whatever console. I'm just-
Okay, yeah.
Mario Galaxy is re-releasing for like the 12th time, and I'm just gonna buy it again. I don't know why. I'm not happy about it, but it's gonna happen.
Well, now they're making a movie about it. I think that's what's happening about it, right?
Yeah, right.
That's what I
Now there's a
thought.
Mario
Yeah,
Galaxy movie, so they got a
I-
reason to resell it and repurpose it and put it back on Switch 2.
There you go.
The resolution's better, guys. It's gonna be great. You clearly have some Smash Brothers knowledge from the Smasher Pass. Is that a game that you grew up playing a lot of?
College was when I was mostly in that sphere of Smash Melee, especially Melee. Almost every roommate I had brought home a GameCube of some nature, and they would be playing it, and I'm like, it's like, hey, you want to join it? I'm like, "Bro, okay, cool, I'll play this. Like, I always see people play it online and stuff like that. let me go ahead and try it. So like Smash was always like an integral part of our hangouts during college. Playing in my, back in my house where, I would sometimes get drunk enough to do live commentary and like, kind of mess people up that way. So that was always it was always a fun group activity because everybody was on our couch basically.
Sounds like the days when I'd be coming back from college and wear my backpack and everyone would be
Yeah.
playing Smash and they'd be like, Brandon, come on, get the game. I'm like, I'm on the way to my library, guys. I can't play right now. And they're like, come out. And I was like, oh, got me, Fox. I'm coming in.
I definitely grew up in a circle of friends that any place I walked into, if it had like an electrical outlet, it was on. I'd just come in and it would just be like, sup, I got next. That was just kind of the vibe. You just walk in, put your quarter down, so to speak, and we'd order Papa John's pizza and just play Smash Brothers all night, dude. And that was like high school into college for sure.
Take me back.
I had a friend who would have his old CRT TV. Obviously the dorms would not facilitate any other thing, so he would lug his giant CRT just to have that. I asked him, like, why do you even have this TV? Like, what was the purpose? Like, bro, you don't understand. Like, if you put this on a flat screen TV, it's gonna look terrible. I'm like, and I didn't believe him until I did it myself. I'm like, oh, he's right. Oh my god, it does not look right. It's all stretched out. Like, it's not looking good.
The Smash scene is very, very serious about their CRT TVs, and I think part of it is the latency. You're just guaranteed 0 latency on a CRT TV, I guess, because that's what it was originally developed.
Right, because like I would have to use a converter for my GameCube to HDMI. If you're gonna play Smash, go ahead and play Brawl. Don't be playing.
Don't we bring that shit in here?
Yeah,
This is the big leagues. We're playing Melee, baby.
For real.
All right, so Obi, you're hosting a huge gaming themed party. Who's catering, and what food is on the menu? What snacks are on deck, and what drinks are you bringing too?
Nice,
it's funny you say that because I think about catering a lot, but I'm always thinking like, what's a great party food? When we're gaming, we're gonna be getting hungry. That's kind of how it goes. Like, there's some activity going. You might be a couch potato, but your hands are doing a lot of the work. You get tired after that. There's like 2 places I would recommend. One is Senor Birria in Downey and Los Alamitos. They are a strictly birria restaurant. No al pastor, no carne asada, none of that stuff. Okay, he's a purist, and he makes some of the most amazing birria egg rolls I've ever had. Okay, egg roll wrappers. Okay, stuffed with the juicy tender meat, cheese, onion, cilantro. Wrap those things up, and then he gives you a side of nacho cheese to dip that in there.
Oh, you're gone. You're gone this weekend.
Man, one bite of that, you're like puffing smoke because of how hot it is. That is a perfect finger food. And my second recommendation is mini ube burger sliders from Panda Sal's in Bellflower.
All right, you got to sell this one to me. Where's the ube? In the bun?
Let me tell you this.
Okay.
They incorporated ube in their mini pandesal, which is pandesal is a very popular Filipino bread. He made it ube, okay, so it's purple. And honestly, the ube is not that prominent. It's like mainly for the color, but it is there. And then he uses Angus beef, white American cheese, sauteed onions, and then freshly made pickles for those sliders, okay? One bite of that, and man, you're gonna be finger licking. Yeah, I'm telling you that right now.
It's burger time.
And these like mini sliders, so it's like perfect finger foods that you can stack them up mile high like a little pyramid. That's kind of how we go about it. My best burger experience I've had in a long time, and I say that with very strong confidence because I love eating burgers.
Dude, you just hit us with like 2 really innovative foods, like a birria, egg roll. Why didn't anybody else think of this sooner? Like, I need one now.
And let me tell you something. Like, this guy, he's always innovating. Those egg rolls have been a game changer for him, and ever since I worked with him, like I think 3 years ago, I've seen his progress, and I'm like, that's genius. I can't believe you took this long to make this, but thank you for making this. And then like the ube sliders, like Filipino burger fusion, like that's how we can do it,
I got another food question for you. This one's hotly contested, hotly debated. We've got people on one side saying one thing. We got people on the other side saying another. TDK, recurring guest, swears by one. I swear by the other. He put out a poll. It was split 50-50. Pizza Hut or Round Table Pizza?
Ooh. It's like comparing apples to oranges at that point because one, Pizza Hut has been dominating. Let's just say that. I think the only round table I found was in Costa Mesa, out of all places. It's hard to find one. I'm pretty sure around the United States, there's probably more. We're just in our little SoCal bubble of like Pizza Hut supremacy. But man, it really depends on who's running that franchise. Like for example, I stopped by to get pizza for when I was going to a party. It was in the city of Westminster. It was a franchise-owned Pizza Hut. And that pizza was kind of lacking, not what I'm used to. But then you go to the Pizza Hut in LA, I'm like, oh, that's some good quality right there. It really depends on the place, and I feel like that's why it's 50-50. Both Round Table and Pizza Hut are not consistent with their pizzas because
Across the board, all over
let me
the
throw in
place.
a curveball for you. Little Caesar. We always think about Little Caesar as this cheap $5 carry out. But there's a Little Caesar on the edge of K-Town that probably makes some of the best, pepperoni pizza I've ever had in my life. And I was
Hey,
like, what's
yo.
going on with Little Caesar? You know what I'm saying? What's going on over here? Am I in a different universe? Am I in the multiverse right now? And Little Caesar's the best pizzeria? But I went to another Little Caesars and that was complete, dog water. So I'm like, what is going on?
My hot take on Little Caesars has always
Yeah.
been this, is that a hot and ready Little Caesars pizza, just straight out of the oven to your
Right.
home, is a solid
Mhm.
8.5 to me. Give it even just 15 minutes to cool down, and all of a sudden that Little Caesars pizza goes down to like a 6.5. But when it's hot and fresh, something about that Little Caesars hot and ready.
No, I caught myself eating the slice right as soon as they gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember
Just
like
in
I
the
would
car,
get
in the
pizza, but
car.
now I'm like, let me get a slice before I, give this to my family. I know what's gonna happen in the car ride home, 15 minutes down the road. So
All right, Obi, I got a little game I'd like to play with you. I watch your social media. I follow you, obviously, and I notice a lot of your social media wordplay comes down to a very particular term, big back and big back
Yep.
energy. So I thought we do a little presentation here. We're calling this Big Back Buddies, Big Back video game characters, and I want you to talk to us about where you would take them to eat if you hung
Oh.
out with them.
Easy.
So here we have King Hippo from
Yep.
the Punch-Out series.
Classic.
Mhm.
Where are you taking King Hippo on an outing?
Easy. My man King Hippo, he's gonna have to go to a buffet, and I'm gonna give him the best buffet experience. So we're gonna go to Umi Buffet in City of Industry, really close to Frankensons. Actually, if he's down, we're gonna go card shopping right after. The buffet is an all-you-can-eat buffet, pretty priced reasonably for a buffet standard, especially for that. All-you-can-eat sushi, all-you-can-eat hot pot. Okay. Chinese food, American food, and if he's feeling a little chummy, he can even have a salad if he wants. But this is the only restaurant where you can actually have hot pot pretty much brought to your table, and they have hot pot ingredients in giant refrigerators. Okay,
Ugh.
this place goes crazy, and I know my man, he's gonna need an extra, waistband size on those pants because he's gonna be a little bigger than mine. I'm for sure about that.
All right, here we go. We got our boy Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Okay, I know my man loves bananas. That's just a fact, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, and I'm not stereotyping, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, So I want to give him the best experience, and I know he's probably a vegetarian, not eating meat or whatever. So I'm gonna take him to one of my favorite spots that sells some of the best Peruvian plantains that I've ever had. It's a place called Pablitos Tacos. Even though they sell Mexican food, they have a very huge variety of Peruvian food, like chaufa, lomo saltado, and I've had their side dish of just Peruvian plantains, and my God, probably one of the most sweetest, meatiest plantains I've ever had. I asked this guy, like, where are you even getting your plantains? You have a secret delivery guy or something like that? He's like, nah, bro, I know my guys, they're gonna give me the best stuff. I'm gonna give this guy some of the best Peruvian plantains he has ever had. It's located in the valley.
I mean, I don't want to give away the secret, but I think if I understand correctly, those bananas were imported straight from DK Island. But
Oh.
that's just a rumor.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Like,
All right, next up we got our big back boy King DDD from the Kirby series.
I don't know if you ever watched the animated series
Yeah,
for Kirby.
Kirby
back
back
on,
at ya or something like that.
Yeah, there you go, on Fox Kids, I think at the time.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But man, King Didi would annoy the hell out of me. I'm telling you that right now. Like, he would be such a thorn on the side of everybody. Like, Kirby's just trying to be him, you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to do him, and then King Didi would just have some evil plot happening because he just wanted to ruin everybody's day.
That's how he's in Smash too. He's the
Yeah,
most
that's
annoying.
true.
He's a troll.
Yep.
He's a troll.
King troll, really, if you think about it. But if we're gonna go out for dinner, let me take him to this really cool hidden gem. It is a restaurant in someone's backyard. Okay, this is a house, but they sell authentic mariscos from Nayarit. Okay, Nayarit is a very popular destination for seafood. They're known for this giant fish where they lather this very thick red salsa on top and they grill it over charcoal. Okay, and when you take your spoon and carve a small piece of that fish, it's like butter. Okay. Let me tell you this right now, like butter. My man King Diddy loves fish. Yeah, just by looking at him, and he will love some authentic mariscos from Nayarit, especially that giant grilled fish. He's probably gonna turn good after this. I'll tell you that right now.
I was about to say, like, I don't know why, but King DDD strikes me as a mariscos guy. And sure enough,
That's what it is.
you hit us with it. All right, so if we're talking DDD, you know we had to talk Kirby. This dude's gonna inhale the entire menu. What do you got for Kirby?
I got the perfect spot, and I know it's gonna fill him up. Actually, it might be impossible, but I'm pretty sure this spot all the way down south in Murrieta called Destination Smokehouse. I had the privilege of going there. By far, one of the nicest owners I ever met. Super humble, down to earth. The pitmaster, this old gentleman, doesn't give a crap about who you are. He's gonna give you good food, and you're gonna be happy with it. I've never had it before, but they had barbecue smoked oxtail, okay? And when he picked up that bone, it literally fell apart. Like the
Oh my
meat
God.
disintegrated off the bone. I've never seen that happen before. And I've been to a lot of barbecue spots, but Destination Smokehouse in the city of Murrieta, man, they have like these giant smokers that I know will satisfy Kirby for sure, 100%.
That sounds right up Kirby's alley. All right, we got our boy E Honda, Edmund Honda of the Street Fighter series.
I actually just went to this place recently, okay? I was in the city of La Mirada. I was at this place called Sushi Holic. They're known for their sushis, don't get me wrong, but they created for me the biggest bento box in all of Southern California. This thing is a whole bunch of rice, salad on the side, but don't worry about the salad. That's not important. 3 different kind of meats, okay? Chicken katsu, chicken teriyaki, and beef teriyaki. Almost a pound each of meat. And then they're not even done. They got vegetable tempura that's like the cherry on top. That's literally a mountain on top. I said in the comments that's gonna feed like 5 or 6 people, but man, in Honda, one go. That's the meal right there. That's gonna end all meals right there.
That sounds like the perfect spot for our boy Edmund Honda. And this guy, he's kind of a deep cut. He's from the Street Fighter 4 series. His name is Rufus. You know, he's got big back energy, American fighter. Where are we taking this cowboy?
You know, if he's a cowboy, I know Americans love American Chinese food. Okay, that's just a fact. 2 item combos held it down for us for a long time. Now, if you know, you know.
It still holds it down for us. What are you talking about, Obi?
Oh, yeah, it still holds it down. Like chicken teriyaki, orange chicken, beef and broccoli, honey one-on shrimp. So you guys know what I'm saying. I know my man will love this spot, Hong Kong Express in Westminster, California. These guys, I don't even think they comprehend their boxes because they're just too small for what they're putting in there. 2 pounds worth of chow mein, 2 pounds worth of rice, and then all the orange chicken your big back self can eat. You know what I'm saying? Americans love Chinese food, so it's so big, they're having trouble closing the lid on top of that thing.
That's,
you know?
That's the vibe. Rufus would love that. Dude, thank you so much. We put you on the spot. You had the perfect answer for every single one of these big bags. I am so impressed.
I live, breathe food. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be having breakfast right after this, you know?
Top tier.
I think we're going to get ready to say goodbye. We like to do one last thing before we go. We do a little game called Guess That Song, where me or Brandon hum a few bars from a classic video game, and it's up to the other two to try to guess what video game it's from. Brandon, you got one for us?
All right, I got one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Okay, I know it from Smash Brothers.
Yes, but do you know what it is from?
Now, I think I know what it is. It has to be Metal Gear Solid, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, really? Oh, that first part.
Oh, no, yeah. Metal Gear Solid is dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 which like totally does sound like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that first part has to be that. Oh my god. I got
it. It's Zelda. But what Zelda game is it? Is it Zelda 2?
It's Zelda 2. Yeah.
Let's go.
Eventually.
Archiving. That's archiving.
Yeah,
that's
right. That's temple music, baby.
That concludes our episode of Dire Past Level for today. Obi, it was awesome having you. Where can the people find you on social media? We obviously all want to follow you and follow your journey and eat all the food that you're eating because damn, dude, everything you described was delicious.
Well, Ray, Brandon, I really appreciate you guys having me on this podcast. A little bit out of my niche, but, you know, I always love talking to other people from all walks of life. That's the reason why I got on the food journey. But, of course, you can find me on Instagram.com/ObiEats, TikTok.com/ObiEats, and even YouTube.com/ObiEats, you know. As you can see right here on my shirt, OBI Eats, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to hear some really cool commentary and even some little pop culture references in there, Catch me online.
Awesome time, dude. I had a blast hanging out with you,
Appreciate
man.
it.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Love being
It was
here.
great.
Thank
It was
you.
great.
Doppelgangers, thanks a lot for hanging out. We will see you all next time. Peace. Hey everybody, it's Ray here. Just wanted to thank you for tuning into the Dire Pass Level podcast. If you want to hang out and join us for the next episode, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you're notified when our next episode releases. If you really, really, really liked it, you'd do us a solid if you left us a review. Reviews are a great way to spread the word about our podcast, and the more gamers to share these stories with, the better. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. There we go.